Hey friends, it's Crystal Lee Moore-Lucier here, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Crystal Lee Moore, and this is Realtor Life. This is our 30-day challenge, and today is day 18. And we are going to do something a little bit different. As I mentioned in day 17, we're going to reflect back on the last 17 days and what worked, what didn't work, and going everything from at the beginning, if you recall, we did the Let Them theory with Mel Robbins. We talked about finding your North Star. We talked about the miracle morning. We talked about really digging into your confidence, the way you speak, goals, deepening your relationships so that it feels like you live in a summer camp. Thank you, Mel Robbins, for that wonderfulness. We talked about developing a blueprint for your week. We talked about captivating your audience when you speak, so making sure that you are really coming across with confidence. I will say my decision on reflection for 2 days is largely in part to me traveling to see my family in Ottawa, Ontario, where I forgot how cold it is. So yes, we are doing this wonderful walk to get outside. Different cold in Ottawa, and I've been gone for 13 years, and when I come back, sometimes I am shocked that I was able to so happily exist in the Arctic tundra that is Ottawa, Ontario. It's just a different cold. But beyond that, also spending time with family and really being grateful for all of the things I've been able to implement. But a big piece for me, as I'm noticing my morning routine getting really, really long, and then it's almost stressing me out to try and get it all in, I thought it would be a great time to reflect and figure out what is serving me and what isn't. And in going through that, I realized I've been leaving some things out. Like, for example, when we talk about Sean Aker and the happiness habits at the very beginning, we talked about the 24-hour scan, which I have been doing, and I hope you are too. The 24-hour scan is you go back in the last 24 hours, what am I grateful for? What are the things that I did that just made me really grateful? If you want to bump it up a level, we also talked about that blueprint week. Not only what am I grateful for, what made me happy? And those are two different questions, but both really important. And then 2 minutes of silence, like that's a big deal. And also taking 2 minutes just to write a note of love or appreciation to someone in your life. I was doing that and people were really, really responding well. And we get busy and sometimes things fall off. But it made me feel good. It made them feel good. And I'd like to bring that back. The miracle morning steps, the savers steps, the silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, scribe, those are good. I think I just need an efficient way to do them, because on top of everything, what really happens for me is that you really need to make sure things are working, right? So Tony Robbins says like the 4 steps to success. So number 1 is know what you want, right? So you have to know, get really clear what you want and take action. Then you have to pay attention. Notice if it's working. Are you getting the results you want? And if it's not working, you need to change your approach. So know what you want, take action, pay attention, change your approach. And so I know what I want. I want to be more energetic, have more circulation, which, by the way, this outdoor walking is really helping with. But I also, the goal here is to bring stress down. So if some of it is bringing stress up, to address that, change the approach. So that is what I'm going to be working on. And then beyond that, the weekly blueprint is a really great idea. And it's just really figuring out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And maybe this is a great time. So, I mean, it is day 18 today, but that means there are 12 days left. And then kind of you get to start listening to whatever you choose. Maybe there's an audiobook that you've been thinking might be cool. Maybe there's something that maybe you'd like to do a group. Maybe you'd like to start a walking group or join something where you're going to be social. Maybe you just want your own time, a yoga studio, whatever it is. So these are great contemplative days. And so today's basically a free day to pick a podcast if you want to. Do the outdoor walk, do an exercise. You can also just take a day off, but make sure you're doing something that's bringing you further along your path. So maybe it's that you're going to listen to any podcast you want and send me a message and tell me what it was. I would love that, by the way. I do find when I'm selecting podcasts, if this helps at all, some podcasts, and I think you know who you are, podcasters. It's like 2.5 hours. And as much as I would like to say I have 2.5 hours to listen to someone's podcast, I don't know. Unless I know that it's going to be great and I'm going to really get something from it, 2.5 hours seems long. And so when I'm looking for something maximum 1 hour. So 30 minutes is great. 1 hour is great. I keep these short on purpose because I also know a lot of the people listening, my colleagues, entrepreneurs, realtors, we're appointment to appointment, and there might not be a 2.5 hour window of free time to listen to me talk. So this is kind of a really cool vibe. Day 19, I'm excited for we're diving into Mel Robbins again. But for day 18, I hope everyone has an amazing, amazing time going through the last 17 days of growth that you have had, and kind of pick and choose what works for you. So remember Tony Robbins, know what you want, take action, pay attention, change your approach until you get it. Okay, so I'm Crystal Lee Moore-Lucier. This is Realtor Life, our 30-day challenge, day 18. You've got this, guys. Talk to you soon.